Hello traders, it's Daniel Martin. Today this video is to cover a very important topic for beginners and advanced traders. For beginners is for those ones, the question is that what is the best strategy for me? For beginners. Now for advanced, some people have already a strategy that works or doesn't work. Even if it works, maybe stop working. And this is like you don't know what to do with it. So this is important as well for you. For those they have a strategy, they don't stop changing the strategy, or they go on a strategy that works now, that doesn't work later, or they're working very hard on something they do believe, and they don't go anywhere, work for somebody, but it doesn't work for me. So what is wrong with me? What I can do? I'm lost, I need to give up on trading, I spend a lot of money, wasting a lot of time. What can I do to moving forward into this topic that I really like to be into it? Let me explain my story, and then you will understand main topics or the main points that you need to look into when you look for a strategy. I was not aware of them until a long time after working for many years, but this is important for you guys to save you time and save you money. So I got 3 strategies that works, but I've been developed 273 strategies. 270 strategies didn't work. Worked for a period of time, short times, 3 months, maximum 1 year and a half, and so on. So I got in total 3 strategies that are still working. My question is why those ones was working and others didn't work. I will explain in the video going through. So I hope this video will save you money and time. Let's go into it. First thing first, you need to be able to get the first component that's very important for you guys to get the best strategy, and you know that's your strategy for you, is actually something that you can see. Okay, what is the meaning with that? There is many gurus there is many strategies there is many people trading strategies, many academics and so on, that they're going to sell you the best strategy ever in the market. That's it. I'm the best, that's my best strategy, this worked for me, and so on. Okay? Now, how do you know that a strategy is good for you? First thing first, let's be clear, that is more for pattern recognitions in this particular case. If you're actually looking for other type of strategies, that is not what I'm going to discuss today here. But now, if you're looking for a pattern recognitions, first thing first, you're going to look for something that you can see in the next 2 days. So let me explain that. If you start to get into a strategy, anything, you like some strategy or somebody, and you can see that strategy in the next 1 or 2 days when you're looking into it by yourself before you're going into the course or the education, that the strategy is for you. You can see it. But if you cannot, that's not for you. Why are you actually going to push something that is not natural for you and is not coming from yourself into the first instance? So forget about that option there. Very important. What you can see in the 1 2 days looking into it. If you don't, moving forward to the next one. Okay, now second component, very important to keep it in mind. Keep it simple. What do I mean with keep it simple? Remember we discussed before about trade what you see. If you have too many things into the charts, how do you know what you can see is correct or not? So keep it simple is important for you to understand what actually you have in front of you is clean and clear. Understand first what you have in front of you, and if you understand perfect and clear, move on to something else. Myself, I started in 2004, trading in 2008, I actually struggled. And let me explain to you why I wasted 4 years of my life there, or kind of wasted, or I hope somebody actually tell me to say, okay, well, if you did this and that and say, you will be safe a lot of time. I didn't waste money because I didn't pay for any courses. I was not believe, well, even if I believe I didn't have the money. So, but I believe that there was too many things. I was not sure about which one is right or not, and I didn't have the money to pay for that. So I have to be actually building by myself. Not even books I read at that time. So I was not even reading books at that time. I just actually create my own patterns, look in the charts like you can see now here. So I start the charts as plain, because I couldn't understand all the things. I started to put in there the MACD, then I started working with RSI, then I'm working with stochastics, I'm working with all these kind of indicators that everyone we know. Fibonacci, Bollinger's, all these ones, and I end up to actually to have no use only one of them. And the rest actually I use time to time to see if I can see something, but pretty much 99% of the time I use always the same is Fibonacci levels. There's more reliable indicator in the market. The rest plus actions. But remember, keep it simple, because then you can see better. If you can see that clear, then moving forward to the next one. Myself, From 2004 to 2008, I was creating EAs after that, indicator to see if they can help me psychologically, to see if something automatically can work through indicators, and so on. I end up to do wasting too many hours of my life, too much time there was wasted because I didn't understand in the end that it need to be kept it simple. Third component, psychology. We are going to divide this in two parts. Psychology that actually is much your personality into the actually trait that you do take it into your strategy. You can actually fit your risk and reward, your money management, your rules, apply and actually work out and follow your personality. That's important. Now, that is in this case could be that you may be actually dealing with FOMO, or you're dealing with greedy, you're dealing with fear, panic, and then you have component in your strategy that actually fix those problems that you face in your personality. You can actually try to transform those changes, those movements of your head to changes to something else, but on the end it's naturally in you to be greedy, to be fear, to be panic. Can you have components that helping you to actually to moving forward? That's very important. Now, second component that is actually quite important, and that's why those three strategies that have works for me, is to actually to take in consideration the global market and everyone in there. So what does that mean? People in general working based on psychology and it's reflected in the charts. So can you actually see that there is panic in the market? Can you see in the market there is uncertainty? Can you see in the market there is greedy? If you can see that, you have even better strategy, because you can actually, if you can see that in the market and you actually find a pattern added into that, then you have a perfect combination of a strategy that will work forever. Why it will work forever? Because it's been working so far for me and it was working before me, and it will continue working with people still feeling. If there is feelings, they will still working. People said because now there is more EAs and so on, it's more difficult to identify that. Well, EAs is there for many years. Myself, I'm still making money from there. So even that psychology created by EAs is still affecting that, and then moving forward. Maybe in the next 20 years, maybe not. So far, working fantastic. Yeah, because maybe everyone use an EAs. Do you think that everyone is going to use an EAs? Nobody's going to actually trade manually, or nobody's going to actually to take the advantage of the market directions, or take the advantage of psychology movements of the market. So that is important to be aware of that. It will be always there. Okay, now remember 2020 panic. It was in place. It's very simple. It's there. It was working. So can you trade panics momentums? Can you trade fear momentums? That is a sign of the companies they need to look into. For example, now remember that we said trade what you see, keep it simple, and use the psychology factors. Now it's like, for example, my strategy, the STT. Yeah. So can you actually see a symmetrical triangle? Yes. Okay. Perfect. So this is a strategy. It's based on psychology. Yes. It's based on uncertainty. It's all the other components in there to actually match my personality. Fear, greedy, overconfident. They are there, those components. Yes, they are there too. I got FOMO in place to cover you. I got greedy to cover that, because I've been actually suffer all those moments of psychology problems. I've been in FOMO in place. I was the miss out of my trade. I have to create something for that as well. I got greedy. I'm very greedy. So I have to create kind of components to help me to fix that off. Now, do I asking you to take my strategy? Well, if you remember what I said first, the first part of, can you see it? A symmetrical triangle? Yes. If you cannot see it, ignore my strategy.